Hey everyone, welcome back to the Predictive Playbook powered by Sportsmemo TV. I am your host, John Ryan, and it is Tuesday morning, and every Tuesday morning we have two of the best handicappers, young guns as I call them, from sportsmemo.com, and Adam Trigger at Top Flight Sports, and Jimmy Adams at Jimmy Adams Vegas. Welcome to the show, guys. Adam, how's your week been starting off here?
It's okay. My baseball play didn't get there last night, but I had a 5-unit winner over the weekend on the Bucks, and it's at least moving back in the right direction, so I can't complain.
Good. And Jimmy, it's getting to be like ho-hum with you. You have like 80 plays in Major League Baseball, and boy, 72%. I mean, can you do better for us?
I would like to. We had a tough loss last night with the Reds. Tied for most of the game. They go up 2 runs in the 10th. They give it away. End up going to 12 and losing in 12. So that was a tough loss, but I love the card today. So hopefully we can get 3 MLB winners tonight.
Sounds good to me. Sounds great to me. And we'll kick it off right here with Major League Baseball action. We have Arizona's on a win streak now. They're going to go for 2 in a row tonight against Milwaukee Brewers. And I don't mean to make fun of Arizona, but they are not a good team. And Milwaukee comes into this game in a heated contest in the National League Central. Reds were one of those teams at 500, just 4 games behind Chicago and St. Louis, and Milwaukee now is at 40-33 for the season. And Arizona, with that win, are now 21-53 after stopping that 17-game losing streak. We have Zach Gallen going for Arizona, 3.99 ERA and a 1-2 record against another right-handed pitcher who I think is having just a tremendous breakout season. And probably he's going to have a pretty big contract coming up in the years to come. I think he actually is a free agent coming at the end of this season. But he's 6-2 with a skinny 2.28 ERA and 104 Ks. Jimmy, how do you see this game to be bet tonight?
So the Diamondbacks remain on the fade list until further notice. They've lost 17 in a row prior to last night's win. They'd also lost, was it 31-33, I believe?
Yep, that is correct.
So they're a team that we're going to continue to look to play against. We have Freddie Peralta coming in 6-2 with a 2.28 ERA. You mentioned the great year he's been having. He had 2 runs, 5 hits, no walks, 6 Ks on 7 strikeouts in his last appearance. And this has been nothing new. He's been doing stuff like this all year long. 1 earned run in his previous 2 starts prior to the last outing. And, he's just been a bet-on pitcher all year long. And the bullpen did well last night. They need to score a few more runs. They put up some runs against the Rockies, but they're going to need to get things going offensively. Zach Gallen returned from injury. He'd missed 5 weeks prior to his last start. He threw 58 pitches against the Giants, gave up 4 runs, I'm not sure if they were earned, in just 2.2 innings. So his confidence, I'm not sure if it's there, and we'll see what happens in his second start back from injury. But this line has come down. I bet it at -150, and it is right around -140. So a relatively cheap price fading a team that's just been in a tailspin for weeks.
Yeah, I really love the play, and I'm a little confused. We're seeing some wise guy money and interest on the Diamondbacks, and you got to remember when wise guys that term comes out. They're doing these plays based on the season results. They're not making a statement today that they know something and Arizona's gonna hit 8 home runs and win 16-0.
Yeah, sometimes sharps are seeing a number and they're gonna bet the number no matter what. Whereas I'm gonna look at the streaks and I'm never gonna advise my clients to bet on a team that's lost or had lost 31-33. So
yeah, and can I just add something there, John?
Sure, go ahead.
during the 17-game losing streak, there was sharp action on the Diamondbacks a number of times on that streak. So this is one scenario where I think I agree with Jimmy. They're probably seeing a number that says to buy at that number, but it's definitely not been profitable over the course of this last 3-week run. Because if you look at the 17-game losing streak, I would say on at least half of those, Arizona got like a sharp buy at some point during the day and still lost. So it's something I wouldn't put a whole lot of stock in for today if you like the Brewers. I wouldn't be that concerned about money on the other side here.
Yeah, it's cheap way to play. I think the run line too, which is right now at plus money, I think is a no-brainer. And all I had to do is tell you that Arizona's 2-27 versus a starting pitcher who averages 5 or more strikeouts per start, and they're 3-24 facing a starting pitcher that has a WHIP of 1.25 or lower. I don't see that trend changing, and I know you guys agree with that. So I think both. You could probably play this, Jimmy. What do you think? 50% run line, 50% money line, or just go with the money line?
Yeah, you can do that. I'm just going to go with the money line personally, just because the Brewers have had offensive struggles. But either way, depending on how confident you are, I just don't want Milwaukee to win by a run and then you get screwed. But if you split it up half and half, that's not the end of the world.
Well, I was on Arizona with the run line on Saturday, so I guess that puts me in the company of wise guy, I guess, huh?
That was a rough one.
Oh yeah, that was not a good pick. That was definitely not a good pick.
It was the right play. I mean, I had run line the Dodgers the previous 2 games because, we were just fading the team, and
it was a number.
Dodgers, they were killing.
It didn't matter that it was Walker Buehler. It was a number.
Well, yeah.
Well, wait a minute. Was it Walker Buehler? Because I was on the Walker Buehler game, so I think
I thought it was.
They won. They covered the run line in that game. It was.
I was going to say that was the one where you looked dead if you were on Arizona run line, and they put up 6. I think they put up 6 runs in the 8th inning to lose 9-8. So that would have been a winner if you're on Arizona run line there.
It was Saturday, so I stand corrected. Yeah. So must be in the haircut I got. It's making me dumb. I should have been bragging about that instead of saying it was a loss. Well, anyway. That's our play from Jimmy basically minus 140 right now, and you get Peralta, who's a stud pitcher right now in great form, and I think that's just cheap. I mean, that's a green light special. Now,
John, one more thing to just support Jimmy's angle there. All the Brewers' top relievers didn't really pitch last night, so you've got Hader, who didn't pitch, and you've got their whole bullpen's basically fresh because they were down early and they just kind of went to sleep. I had the over in that game, so hopefully the Brewers hit a little bit for Jimmy tonight because they did not hit for me last night at all.
I think they will. You might have noticed last night in NHL action, and you guys know I have a pretty big database of data, that the Tampa Bay Lightning scored 8 goals in a shutout over the Islanders, and that's not a beatdown. We got to come up with a new word by the 4 o'clock show for Manny's Pub that'll get Tony Finn all excited. But, I mean, that's just unbelievable. So I said, wow, how many times has this happened? Well, in the last 20 seasons, it's been 10 times, which is the chart shown above. And those are the games. And before we went on the air, we mentioned in 2011, there was a 8-4 game won by the Flyers. And then the very next game of that series was 10-3. And that was a Penguins win. And that was just crazy. Crazy series, crazy season back then. But now I wanted to know what happens to teams that score 8 goals or more in the next playoff game. And you would think that there would be like a regression that, teams that put up 140 points in the NBA that average 110 are probably not going to score 140 in the next game. But I found out otherwise. And, it doesn't look like the Islanders have a chance to bounce back. This record is 8-1 straight up with any team in their previous NHL playoff game that scored 8 or more goals. So I will be on Tampa Bay, and I think you're going to get them at a cheap price. The public is obviously going to think they're going to bounce back. I was thinking that this query was going to show some type of bounce back for the Islanders, but I think when you get beat this badly, and it's an elimination game, I think the lights are out up there in the Nassau Coliseum come tomorrow night. So I'm going to be on the Tampa Bay Lightning tomorrow night. And now we're going to move to truly my favorite sport because I'm undefeated. Tongue in cheek, of course. But I had that Ronaldo guy scoring 2 goals, and he scored them with literally seconds left, in my opinion. But nevertheless, it won. And I'm going to tail something off of Adam here. His game is the game in Group D between Croatia and Scotland. And this is a very important game for both teams. They're in Group D, which is the Czech Republic and England, and of course Croatia and Scotland. And the winner of this game obviously takes a positive step forward and possibly moving on. So it'll be great to see what Adam thinks here, because he was right last week, and I think he's going to be right again this week. What do you think?
I hope so. So yeah, I'm going to release this as a 4-unit play. I just haven't got it out yet, but this will be a 4-unit play for me. I'm going to take Scotland. I'm going to take them on the draw no bet. So you'll see it listed as like PK or draw no bet. It's plus 105. So you're still getting a little plus money. And it basically means if Scotland wins, you win your bet. If Scotland draws in the match, you push. Now, it's an interesting scenario here in Group D because really both of these teams need to win or they're probably going home. Actually, they're almost guaranteed to go home. The way the Euro's set up now, third place teams do advance because there's 6 groups and 16 teams move on to the knockout phase. So that means if you finish the top 2 in your group, you're going to move on. And if you finish third in 4 of the 6 groups, you're going to advance. Now, it seems like the magic number for points to move on is going to be 3. So with Croatia and Scotland on 1 point apiece, it really means there needs to be a winner in this match, or they're probably both going home. So you could look at it and say, well, I'm going to bet Scotland to win because they need to win and take close to a 2-to-1 money line. But I think that seems to be the popular way to do it. So because there's less action on Scotland draw no bet, I love the fact that you're getting a plus price here on Scotland still, and you have the draw covered. So should this end in a draw, which is still a very good possibility, you at least push your bet. Now, just going on to the match is in Scotland, so it's at Hampden Park in Glasgow, Scotland. So it's essentially a home game for Scotland, which I definitely think gives them an edge. They looked great against England last time out. It ended in a 0-0 draw. And Scotland's actually the only team so far that has yet to score at EURO2020. However, they've had 30 shots on goal, which after 2 games was the most of any team. So I think they've really been unlucky to not score yet. They had a couple really good chances against England, and they just couldn't finish. And then their game against the Czech Republic, they hit the crossbar. I mean, they created chances all game, and they just couldn't finish. So Croatia has lost 4 straight matches. They have not won in 4 straight matches. They have a loss to England in this tournament. They drew with Czech Republic last time out. And then the 2 matches prior, they failed to win as well. And they've conceded in all 4. And Scotland has not lost to Croatia in 5 straight. So that's 2 wins and 3 draws. So I think people are looking at Scotland here and saying they can't score. I think that's flawed. They've created a ton of chances. And I think if Scotland finds the back of the net today, they're at least going to get out of this with a draw. I actually like them to win. So for me, I'm going to play it a little bit more conservative. I'm going to back Scotland on the draw no bet at plus 105. But you can, if you want to get a little bit more risky, they do need to win. So Scotland's not going to be content with a draw here. They do need to win to advance. You can get in the plus 170, plus 180 range on a Scotland win. But I think the better, like, plus EV bet here is Scotland draw no bet, plus 105. Croatia, to me, they're aging. You know, this team kind of shocked to get to the final at World Cup 2018. A lot of these guys are in their mid-30s that are key players. I just think Croatia's on the decline. I think Croatia gets knocked out here. I'm going to go with Scotland to get it done at home in Glasgow today.
It's awesome. I'm going to tail that. I'm definitely going to bet it and risk my 100% winning record of 1-0. But seriously, I'm looking at this guy, Ivan Perisic, I believe, from Croatia. Now, this would go against your play. He's 17-1 to score at least 2 goals. And is that a fair price in your opinion, or am I just throwing money down the toilet?
Well, it's a fair price because I think he'll probably take a penalty if they get it, but I don't like that for a couple of reasons. I mean, not just beside the fact that I'm on Scotland here. Scotland set up far more defensively against England. They went with a 3-5-2, and I thought they defended extremely well against England. I would be shocked if Croatia scores twice in the match as a team. They only scored once again, they were shut out by England 1-0 in the first group phase game. They only scored once against the Czech Republic. So I'll be pretty surprised if they break Scotland down twice and score twice. I mean, I guess if you were going to back a player on the Croatian side, it's probably him. But I don't think – I think we're probably going to see another 1-0 either way. 1-1 is a possibility. You could see a match. If it is, I will say this. Here's an in-game angle for you, John.
Okay.
If this ends up 1-1 with like 20 minutes to go, I mean, the in-game over, if you can find 2.5 at a reasonable number, is probably a great bet because neither of these teams will advance with a draw. So if you get a 1-1 match, or even if it's 0-0 or 2-2, last 15 minutes or so is going to be a free-for-all because there's zero incentive for either team to accept a draw here because both would go home. They'd only be on 2 points and both would go home. So I think the last 5 to 10 minutes of this match, if it's tied, I mean, you're going to see teams throwing guys completely forward. It's going to be all out, and you're not going to see teams are not going to be that worried about losing because they're going to go home anyway. So I think you'll see teams taking their chances. You'll probably see counterattack opportunities. So if you can get a reasonable price on the in-game over, if this is tied after, let's say, 70 or 75 minutes, that's probably a really good bet.
Oh, I like it. Sorry about that background sound there. But one last question for you, Adam, and then we'll move on. In the Scotland team, it looks like Adams and Nisbet, if I'm saying his name right, are the two that possibly could score the 2 goals in the game. But they're both 16-1. Is there one that you think is more likely than another?
Yeah, I think out of those two, I like Che Adams to score. He's been around the goal, and I feel like he would be the one. If someone was going to go off and score for Scotland today, I feel like it'd probably be him. And I'll throw Andrew Robertson out there. He's, as an individual, he's created. He's been one of the top players at EURO2020 in terms of chances created. So if you might just take him just to score. Because he's a midfielder, he's probably a little bit lower down on that list, but he's probably good odds just to score any goal. And he's been all over the place. He's played really well for Scotland. So, but out of the ones you mentioned, I think Che Adams would be my choice.
Okay, I was actually just trying to find Adam Robertson here for just scoring, but I'm coming up empty. I'm sure he's there. There's just so many names.
Yeah, and I'll touch on one more thing. I think this is another reason Croatia is getting some love. Billy Gilmore's out for Scotland. He got COVID, and he tested positive, so he's out. So he played an unbelievable match against England, but I don't think it's the Scotland side seems pretty interchangeable to me. I just don't think that his absence is going to be the difference maker here. So I'm whoever Steve Clark puts on the field today, I think Scotland's going to have a really good chance to win this match.
Sounds great. Sounds great, Adam. I think I'll stay off the player props today and just I think Scotland. I like your breakdown that Scotland. What was it, plus 105, 110?
So it's Scotland draw, no bet. It means you cover the draw. You get your money back if the match ends in a draw. And I'm seeing plus prices out there. Plus 105 seems to be the most common, but plus 110 is out there a couple places as well. The fact that you can still get plus money while covering the draw is a really good bet in my opinion.
Awesome, Adam. And now for the final segment, I want you guys to tell everyone where they can find you, which is quite easy over at sportsmemo.com. Also, any promotions you have running today, big plays coming up this week, big plays today, and we'll start with Jimmy Adams.
Yeah, obviously you can find me at sportsmemo.com. I really love the baseball card today. I would have loved to have started the week off with a win, but unfortunately the Reds couldn't win there last night. But we're going to bounce back strong today. I have 3 plays. One is the free play winner I just gave out. I have a 5-unit big ticket top play over at Sportsmemo and another play over for $9. So head over to Sportsmemo and let's go for the 3-0 sweep today.
Isn't it great how laid back he is? I mean, he's 72%. And then we have, over at sportsmemo.com, the polar opposite in Joe D'Amico, who is just an absolute riot. The guy could sell sand to a farmer, I think.
I was going to say, how about his sales pitch yesterday, John? That was something. I want him to promote all my plays. I mean, that was incredible.
If you listen to the show I did with him yesterday, the one-on-one, I didn't have to even conclude the show. I mean, he basically did everything for me, and all I had to do is basically hit end broadcast, and that would have been it. But I mean, it's great. I mean, I love the humble side. We all know it's hard to promote yourself. It really is, because none of us at sportsmemo.com or wagertalk.com. We're all transparent. We know our records. We're going to have losing streaks, and you don't want to overhype. You don't want to blow smoke up somebody's rear end just to get a sale. I mean, that's the worst thing you can do. The one thing I can tell you about these two guys is that, just don't get a pick today. Get a subscription. Invest in yourself. They're more than likely discounted off the regular price. And, get a 30-day, or even a 90-day, because that leads you right into the NFL football and college football, which is, that's kind of my niche, is the gridiron. And, we're about 80 days away now from
a good point to make on the subscriptions is you get the plays as soon as we release them. So it's really good for line value. For example, I give out the Jazz last week, -3. Kawhi Leonard, the news drops that he's out, and the line goes to 8. We lose the game. But the point is, the closing line value of 5 points there was crazy. And you're going to get consistent closing line value from Adam, me, and all the handicappers at Sportsmemo. So,
absolutely. Good point. What do you have going on at Sportsmemo, Adam?
So, you can find me at Sportsmemo, sm.buzz/TFS. You can also find me at topflightsportsinfo.com and on Twitter at topflightsi. I'm going to post that Scotland play. It's going to be a 4-unit play. I'm giving it out for free. But I will be posting NBA. I'm 22-15 on the NBA this season. That's 60%, plus 20.55 units. So pretty good NBA season so far. I had a nice 5-unit winner on the Bucks over the weekend, and I will have an NBA play up today at some point. Whether it's I haven't decided what I'm going to do with tonight's game yet, but I will be posting an NBA play, whether it be for tonight or tomorrow. and you can get that on my Sports Memo page. So
awesome. And we will be back at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time with Manny's Pub. And we're going to be talking about that video that Trevor Bauer put together. He's been polarizing, but I was greatly impressed with his knowledge. And I'm sure we're going to have a great time talking about that. And then we do the free picks, free analysis, breakdowns. It's just a one-stop place to get some really, really smart betting advice, and it's all free. So, guys, thanks for being on the show today, and let's have another highly profitable Tuesday night. So, on behalf of Jimmy Adams, Adam Trigger, myself, and Sports Memo TV,